know, it seems to go to and fro across the Atlantic. It started with a few bands in America that never got record deals, but were like pretty influential on the new scene starting in England. You know, this kind of grind scene, and bands like Carcass, Napalm Death, Unseen Terror, who were around at the early days. They got their records out through me, whereas a lot of other record labels wouldn't have even bothered touching them. You know, it's like, this is noise. You know, what can we do with that? It doesn't sell. But that didn't really bother me. You know, I was just into the music and the sound, and it just seemed natural that we put their records out. You know.
Some bands you can put in categories, but I think it's silly trying to put people who you're not too sure about into categories. I'd rather bridge a scene if I could, and just have people call us Paradise Lost rather than saying, oh, they're a death metal band, they're whatever.
It's far too limiting.
Tags are too limiting.
The grindcore tag's far too limiting. I mean, you don't have to sort of say the word and like put people off who might be into it, you know. If there wasn't that kind of tag there.
With the newer stuff, we try to put the melody and songwriting back into this kind of music because it's losing it.
The power, realism, is only upon the earth will fly. Birds upon memories, as a law that gives us the judgment. The generation is most at the mortality coil is weaker. The pain is rusted. Now leave the ruined world to your God.
I've got to be really, really miserable to write songs. I can't be in a good mood, I've got to be really pissed off. Well, when I've got to pay rent at the beginning of the month, that depresses me. And if the dog has a shit in the kitchen, that really depresses me. Bad headaches, and when I'm drunk. When Mum and Dad got killed in a car crash, that really put it down on it, that one. But no, they didn't really, I'm only kidding. All kinds of things, really. Just life. I don't want to get throat cancer. And I've heard people tell me about you have little things cut off back of your throat.
Nodules.
And because I heard George Michael had it done, so I've got to go and get it done too, I think. But no, I do worry about it actually. So I try not to overdo it, because you can really overdo it and make us split your blood vessels in your eyes, and you get like blood clots down the side of here. That's quite nasty.
It's only happened once or twice.
My eyeball actually popped out once. It actually fell onto the stage, and I managed to pick it up and put it back in before Greg trod on it. Milton's poem, Paradise Lost, is about the confrontation between good and evil. I used to worship the devil in 1982, and I used to have upside-down crosses painted on my bedroom walls.
And they worshipped Venom.
I worship Venom, and Satan as well.
One and the same, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Feel sexy after our shows.
Sexy and moist. And
moist.
Warm. And
you know,
fluffy.
Direct.
With a touch of sweat.
Direct.
But apart from that, pretty damn moist.
Grind can be defined as a death metal with a thoughtful edge. It's usually got a lot of thought into it, something about overpopulation, problems of the world, death. Certainly.
Genocide.
Genocide.
We all like
we
genocide.
Like genocide.
Couldn't live without genocide, eh?
A lot of good vegans out there.
Yeah. These bands, it's strange, they're vegan. I mean, they're hippies. They're just dirty hippies playing very loud music.
Basically, we consider that the world is a reflection of people's minds. And if you look at the world being in a very sorry state, surely that's a reflection of our minds. So if we adjust our minds, perhaps we can adjust the world. That's our outlook. That's what we try and do.
This one's called Raise Against Time. You don't know it, you're lying.
Grindcore's only it's a shame that things have to turn into fashionable orientated. It's a shame. But there again, if this short period of time people, whilst it's in fashion, listen to it and appreciate it, perhaps learn from it, because they haven't experienced it before. Even when this fashion goes, these thoughts, these feelings might stay. I mean, we're around from the early punk days. We were all punks, but it's still true to our hearts. And punk's not exactly fashionable now, but it's still in our hearts. You've got to progress with the times, musically as well as mentally.
You don't want it too accessible, otherwise people are going to hear it once and think, yeah, I've heard that, I know what they sound like. You need people to listen again, and that way the lyrics will come into play if they bother to take further interest. Just keeping the guitars at the right level of dirtiness, really. You don't want it too clean at all, otherwise we're going to end up sounding like Bon Jovi or something ridiculous.
If I write a riff, I'm never actually satisfied with it unless it actually makes me feel a little bit uneasy or something like that. Unless it evokes a real reaction in me, I can't see the point of playing it to people, really.
Well, basically, you're conditioned by the world. Racism, how we consider other people, how our parents consider ethnic minorities is rubbed off on their children. Our parents condition us in these ways.
Religion?
Religion is a prime example, although I must state, I feel deeply for religion. Not all religions, specific religions. Sexism, basically ignorance. Our minds have made us ignorant, have led us into ignorance. Our minds have to get us back out of ignorance. We must be accountable for ourselves. I must stress that nothing we do is drug-orientated in any way. We just simply, that is restrictive. This is a totally pure state of mind that we're trying to achieve, not influenced by any means of drugs. That's restrictive. That's escapism, and we have to be realistic. It's hard to progress, it's hard to sacrifice, but once you understand that what you give, you get back, it makes the giving more worthwhile. But having said that, that just works for me. For other people, find your own methods. Follow your method and achieve the result it serves.
When thrash started, you know, you had people, Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, and all that came out, and like, I mean, I was into those bands like from day one, you know, I thought they were excellent. And especially Slayer, they just blew me away when I saw them in London and stuff. And people were just saying, oh, it's noise, you know, it's not music, it's just bullshit, he's not singing, you know. But, you know, we knew at the time that Napalm Death and stuff make Slayer sound like Bon Jovi, really, you know. The way the vocals sound and the way the instruments just go full tilt, you know. It's just taken people a while to kind of catch on, you know, because thrash fans, they're always looking for something heavier, something faster, something more extreme. They always will, you know. There's just some kind of attitude that defines the bands, really. It's and a vague kind of sound, but there's room for innovation and experimentation within the whole scene. And you've got bands like Godflesh who use a drum machine, and you know, they have really heavy riffs. Nowadays they're getting a bit more experimental with their sound, they're like using samplers and stuff.
Check. 2.
I'm Justin Broderick. I'm guitar and vocals for Godflesh.
I'm Paul Neville and I play guitar for Godflesh. And this is Los Angeles.
And we're about to play the Country Club, California, Los Angeles. We're probably the heaviest thing people are ever going to hear. in a coherent sense. I mean, there's loads of bands who just tune down and go, but like we've actually got sound there, and it's actually unique, and it is fucking heavy. We just present people with a lot of harsh, vivid visuals that we can relate to, of things we really like, and then just present it to people we amalgamate all this stuff and then just shove it in people's faces and say, oh, what do you think? And we're not saying to people, think this, we're saying, what do you think? So we're trying to provoke a reaction. My existence is based upon like a sort of paranoid outlook on things, but I see like paranoia as awareness in a sort of similar. I mean, basically there is no dividing line really. I guess I see being totally paranoid as being totally aware.
We just like intense images, something that's like really strong.
Yeah, everything we use is intense and extreme because that's the only things we can relate to is extremities. The press in England, has been really, really favourable, and in Europe in general. The press in America is probably even more favourable, I think, in a way. I think we're getting better press in the States. We're getting better received. Slayer comes bursting out of it.
That's all right.
It's good. Slayer just burst in on it. It's pretty cool, Our bass player, I mean, he listens to Beach Boys religiously. I mean, he loves the Beach Boys. I mean, he collects all the CDs. He loves the Beach Boys. And if that's probably the most extreme, far away thing I could think of. But then again, in a lot of the purity in their sound and stuff, the way they do things is probably very close to what we do sometimes. We played with Killdozer once. I don't know if you're familiar with people are familiar with Killdozer, but and we played like a lot louder than Killdozer, and we played with like something like 8,000 watts, total full power. And we know of one person in the audience who actually lost their hearing that night totally. There was apparently a couple of women who actually orgasmed through the volume. I don't know, I'd like to add thanks to Hard and Heavy for being on this video, because I mean, we probably don't fit into the whole genre really that well. But it's great to see that we are. I mean, this has crossed over instantly already. This is causing something which is different. And something to add is just for people to start appreciating and opening their heads to something unusual. You know, for people who just solely listen to metal who are watching this video, I'd like them to listen to Godflesh and just appreciate something which is more mind-numbingly heavy. If people want heaviness, and they've got it here. I mean, there's nothing heavier. But we're not saying that on a sort of, we're the heaviest band in the world. We're not going for that angle. We're just going for, we're Godflesh, and this is what we do.